and their happiness. I think a decent argument could be made for antisocial personality disorder. We see criminality, impulsivity, and a reckless disregard for safety, but in the end, he does have remorse, so that's not a good match either. I don't think any mental disorder really captures the Grinch's behavior too well. As far as his personality, Grinch has high openness to experience, low conscientiousness, low extroversion, low agreeableness, and high neuroticism. He appears to be a vulnerable narcissist. He is vindictive, sadistic, insecure, and angry. Here's what I think happened in the case of the Grinch. As a baby, he was abandoned. He felt unwanted. He could look around and see that he did not fit in with the residents of Whoville. He was bullied in school, and when he tried to pursue a love interest and failed, it only became worse. He tried to integrate into the community. He attempted to progress through normal activities like finding a romantic partner, but he couldn't do it. At this point, he could choose to remain in a hostile environment or leave and be isolated. He separated from the Whos because of his sense of shame and the fact that they rejected him, not because he truly wanted to be isolated. His desire was to be a functioning member of their society, but he lost hope. He no longer believed that was possible. I find it interesting that Whoville Social Services didn't even bother sending anybody to check up on the Grinch. I guess they just figured he was up on the mountain and it was all going to work out for the best. Over time, the Grinch develops a plan to destroy his rivals based on the premise that they were shallow, materialistic, and hypocritical. He comes to believe that these are the reasons he was rejected. It wasn't anything specific about him, rather it was these systemic problems in the culture of the Whos. He finds a way to make it not about himself. He shifts all the blame to the Whos. He rationalized. Now his hatred and desire to destroy their happiness did not seem petty. He was able to view his criminal actions as necessary. The Grinch managed to spin things around to where he was the hero. He was the good guy. He was doing them a favor by exposing their materialism. What doesn't make sense about the Grinch's behavior is the conversion experience at the end. Upon finding out that the Whos' happiness is not tied to their material wealth, the Grinch should have been devastated. This destroyed his theory about an overarching cultural problem and restored the theory that they rejected him because he was different, flawed, or inferior. The Grinch's celebration with them at the end only reinforces his lack of insight. What has changed with the Whos? What protects the Grinch from another rejection? There are some deep systemic issues in Whoville. A pleasant ending for the Grinch is not realistic. There is actually personal growth necessary for the Grinch and the Whos, probably requiring years of therapy to resolve. Those are my thoughts on the case of the Grinch. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope it can be a time of celebration, joy,